Your boy Ed Boon is at it again, teasing the entire Mortal Kombat fanbase, but at the same time, it's a very interesting and fun way to engage with the audience. Of course, I'm talking about this image right here, posted by the creator of Mortal Kombat himself, and as Ed Boon states, some making their way back into action. Don't step on Snake. Now, as many of you know, I'm really good at predicting which characters make it into a fighting game, especially Mortal Kombat. So of course, today's video is going to be my educated prediction on which characters in this image are actually going to make it into Mortal Kombat 1. But before I get started, please post in the comments down below which characters you think are coming and which characters are going to get left behind. And also, if you love staying up to date on Mortal Kombat 1 news, then make sure to subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. Now, without any further ado, let's get started. First up, there's several characters in this image that have already been revealed in the very first trailer, which means it's very likely they're going to be in the game. I mean, unless that trailer is canon and everyone who dies in that trailer is actually not in the game because they're dead, but I seriously doubt that's the case. So yeah, characters like Raiden gonna be in the game, Liu Kang gonna be in the game, but this time he's a fire god, Sub-Zero going to be in the game, but we're not sure if it's Bi-Han or Kuai Liang because Scorpion is not undead anymore. That being said though, he is definitely going to be in the game. And then finally we have Johnny Cage, who's been confirmed on the official Mortal Kombat website. In fact, he's getting a Jean-Claude Van Damme skin, which is awesome because for anyone not aware, that Hollywood actor is who inspired Johnny Cage's character. In fact, the entire Bloodsport movie as a whole was a big inspiration for Mortal Kombat. Alright, so for here on out, I'm going to go from left to right, top to bottom, because that's the easiest way to do it. So first up, we have Kai. I sincerely hope that Kai comes back, fingers crossed. This man is extremely underrated, and I won't lie, I'm a big fan of his original costume. I think it looks the best. However, if you don't know who Kai is, I don't blame you, honestly. I think he's only been playable in 2 Mortal Kombat games, and one of those games was Armageddon. Now there's a car alarm going off outside, and a man started lawn mowing too, so I sincerely hope this mic is high enough quality that you can't hear any of it. Anyway, back to the video. Kai was also a Shaolin monk, and in fact was given Raiden's staff in his arcade ladder ending, which implies he's going to take on the mantle. But then, most interesting of all, he was also a capoeira fighter. The man straight up did Chun-Li's spinning bird kick, and yes, it was hype. The guy's out here fighting like Eddie Gordo from Tekken, and yeah, I'm all for it. If Kai does make a return, he better do a lot of stuff like that, more capoeira. Because now that I think about it, I don't believe that any character in Mortal Kombat history has ever done capoeira since him. But will Kai actually return for Mortal Kombat 1? Yes, I'm 100% certain he might be a cameo fighter, but honestly, I'll go one step further. I think he's gonna be a main playable character. I really do. I think he might even get his own chapter in story mode. And the reason I feel that way is because Kai is such an obscure character that almost nobody talks about. So the fact that Ed Boon mentions him in this tweet is a big deal, because out of all the fan favorite characters he could have teased us with, he chose Kai, which means Kai has a strong chance of being in the game. You get what I'm saying, right? I hope that makes sense. But next up, let's talk about Shinnok. I hate to break everybody's hearts, but I don't think Shinnok's going to be in Mortal Kombat 1. And that's mainly because he was already the big bad in Mortal Kombat X, and Shinnok as a side villain does not make any sense to me. For crying out loud, the guy's a fallen elder god. He's the strongest guy in the room every single time, so he can't be a side villain, can he? Now that being said, if Mortal Kombat 1 does have a conquest mode, I think he still might be an NPC that you can talk to and interact with. But when it comes to being fully playable, I don't think Shinnok has a good chance. He may still be a cameo fighter though. Then we have Reptile, 100% gonna be in the game. He's been fake leaked a couple of times, but let's be honest, no developer is crazy enough to fake leak a fan favorite character like Reptile and then not actually put him in the game. Next up, we have Jax. This one's interesting. I think leaving Jax out of Mortal Kombat would be crazy, because even if you try to replace him with someone else, I don't think it can be done. They already kind of tried that with Jackie and it didn't work out, so I think NetherRealm knows they can't replace Jax with anybody else, so you might as well just put him in the game. With all that said though, I'm still not 100%, I'd say it's 50-50, it's a coin toss. But then we have Reiko, and this is super interesting because I've made several videos about who's going to be the villain of Mortal Kombat 1, and for some reason I never stopped to think that the ruler of Outworld is very likely Reiko in this game. Because think about it, if you're Liu Kang and your main goal is peace between all of the realms, Reiko is your boy. He's a strong ruler and leader. I mean, for Pete's sake, he's a general, but he's also not crazy like Shao Kahn or Onaga. I mean, unless we're talking about the comics, but apparently those aren't canon, and also Reiko is being manipulated by Havoc, so we can't really count that. Anyway, my main point is Reiko's gonna be in Mortal Kombat 1. I'm almost 100% certain. But then we have Jarek. Yeah, I don't think Jarek's gonna be in the game, maybe as a goofy cameo fighter, but I don't think they'd even put that much effort. For anyone not aware, Jarek is the punching bag of Mortal Kombat, very similar to Su Hao, but honestly, Su Hao is more creative than Jarek somehow. The only thing cool about Jarek, honestly, is his laser eyes. The guy straight up has heat vision, but even so, I still don't want him in the game because my fingers are crossed that Homelander can still make it in as a guest character. And if anybody's gonna have laser eyes as a playable character, it better be him and not Jarek, or I'm gonna be mad salty. Oh boy, but next up we have Tanya. I've mentioned this character several times on this channel, especially for Mortal Kombat 1, but back then I called it Mortal Kombat 12 because everybody thought it was gonna be called Mortal Kombat 12. And the reason I kept mentioning Tanya is because according to Mortal Kombat Onslaught, she has a very high chance of being in Mortal Kombat 1. And I still feel that way. I think it's very likely that Tanya comes back in Mortal Kombat 1 as a fully playable character. And there's two more reasons that I feel that way. Number one, she's a friend of Molina. NetherRealm has been pushing Tanya and Molina super hard as a couple, so I would be shocked if they leave her out in Mortal Kombat 1 for that reason alone. Because I have this strange feeling that NetherRealm finally wants to give more depth to Molina's character, and one of the best ways to do that is to give her a love interest that she actually interacts with. Or at the very least a friend or partner. Maybe this time they're not romantic, but even so, Tanya is a great friend of Molina. At least according to NetherRealm. I don't trust Tanya. I know for sure she's gonna betray you at some point, but according to NetherRealm, she actually likes Molina. That's reason number one, but for reason number two, I think NetherRealm themselves just really like Tanya in the same way that they love Jackie, and that's why she made it into Mortal Kombat 11. Jackie as a character was super unpopular and also disliked by a lot of people, and she still survived, and I can guarantee you that's only because NetherRealm said so. And I think it's going to be the exact same situation for Tanya. No matter what happens, somebody at NetherRealm wants her in, so she's going to be in the game. But then next up, let's talk about Fujin. Man, that lawnmower is loud. He must be right outside my window. I really hope you guys can't hear him. He is just making the rounds, going back and forth, and yes, it's bothering me because normally he's done by now, but you can't predict when these guys show up to mow the lawn. Sorry, rant over. Back to Fujin. I don't think Fujin's gonna be in the game. At the most, he will be a cameo fighter, but sadly, I just don't see him being a main playable character in the game. I could be wrong, but I just don't see it happening, and that's mainly because in Mortal Kombat 11, NetherRealm went so hard on Fujin. They gave this guy everything, the best animations in the game, they made him top tier, amazing voice actor, an incredible redesign of his character, just everything was perfect, and that's how you know that NetherRealm tried their absolute hardest to make Fujin as good as possible. And sadly, I think the reason they did that is because they knew he's not coming back for a while. And that's why I think that unfortunately, Fujin's not going to return for Mortal Kombat 1. Next up, we have Quan Chi. I think this man has a very high chance of returning, and that's mainly because he's been gone for a game, and as far as main villains go, he's up there, especially when it comes to his gameplay. From a story perspective, I hate Quan Chi. He's so evil and annoying and conniving and manipulating, but his gameplay though is just chef's kiss. It is so much fun to watch. He's a creepy voodoo-like sorcerer. He can put you in a trance to mind control you, he can summon skeletons, all that incredible stuff. He's just so cool. He even summons a demon bat in Mortal Kombat X. This guy is just too cool. He's super metal, and from a gameplay perspective, I love him. And then on top of that, if Quan Chi does come back, that means we get a return of the Deadly Alliance, and I don't mean a cheap reference like in Mortal Kombat 9. I think this time around, the Deadly Alliance could be a major part of the story for Mortal Kombat 1. Or at the very least, even if they don't team up, Quan Chi is the best rival to Shang Tsung, and we already know Shang Tsung is going to be in the game, so having another villain in the mix who's trying to sabotage Shang Tsung would be awesome. And then finally, last but certainly not least, we have Sonya Blade. Yeah, Sonya Blade's gonna be in the game. I don't think she's missed a single NetherRealm game, and for good reason. She's the first woman of Mortal Kombat, which is a big deal if you ask me, so at the very least, she's going to be a cameo fighter, but to honestly leave her out as a playable character would be crazy. And I don't necessarily mean that in a good way. I think Sonya needs to be playable. And oh, I just realized something. Because everybody looks so young in the Mortal Kombat 1 trailer, that means Sonya gets to be young too. Don't get me wrong, she's still beautiful as an older woman, but when she was young, man, ooh, my childhood, she was something else, especially in the classic games MK2, MK3, yeah. I am very excited for the return of young Sonya Blade. She's been old for too long, bring her back in her prime, let her beat people around and kick people all over. The idea of young Sonya Blade actually has me very hype, but real quick, can we focus on something? Why did Ed Boon choose Mortal Kombat 4? Do you think it's possible that somehow the story of Mortal Kombat 1 is very similar to Mortal Kombat 4? Or could it be that Ed Boon just likes Mortal Kombat 4 for for some reason because it's the first 3D Mortal Kombat game. I'm honestly not sure. I may have to watch Uncaged Games video after this one and see if he can figure it out, but also let me know in the comment section down below. I love making these videos interactive, so tell me down below, why do you think that Ed Boon chose Mortal Kombat 4? Because to me it feels completely random. Oh, I just realized something. This Sub-Zero has the scar, which means it's Kuai Liang, and since Sub-Zero's already confirmed, that could mean it's still Kuai Liang in Mortal Kombat 1. But then again, at the same time, every character in this image is Mortal Kombat 4, and Bi-Han was not in Mortal Kombat 4, and it could be that Ed Boon just means Sub-Zero and does not realize what he implied here. Once again, post your comments down below, and then leave a like while you're down there if you enjoyed the video. It really does help my channel out a ton, and then keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell, that way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.